Greetings! Spring is right around the corner, and that means a lot of new product launches are in the air to spend that tax refund on. Bluetti, with one of the largest product lines in the industry, has yet another new model out called the Elite 300. It claims to be the smallest 3 kilowatt hour power station ever made. But is it any good? Let's find out.
HOBOTECH.
The Elite 300 rocks a beefy 3014 watt-hour LFP battery rated at least 4,000 cycles to 80% capacity. And here's what makes this Bluetti special. It packs that massive battery into a space that's approximately only 14 by 12 by 12 inches and at just under 60 pounds. That is tiny. Now, one of the ways they accomplish this is by rerouting the cooling fans, which used to be on the sides. Now the sides are blank, there is nothing there, no more grills or fans. Instead, they have holes up in front where the air comes in and it now gets blown out the back. Now there are upsides and downsides to this design that we will go over in a bit. It has the typical modern Bluetti display that will tell you everything you need to know from input-output watts from both AC and DC, which is nice, time to charge, discharge, state of charge, percentage with icon, for a total of 32 pieces of information on screen. Now, as for the inverter, the Elite packs a 2400 watt pure sine inverter with 4 20 amp outlets and a single TT30RRV hookup, and that's 30 amps. But note that this inverter can only supply 20 amps, so you can't pull the full 30 from this outlet, except maybe in a short burst up to the surge limit of the inverter. Now, the surge wasn't listed in the user manual, which this came with the product, but it's usually twice the rated capacity inverter for up to about 5 seconds. As for ways to charge, this supports the typical 3 from AC grid or inverter generator at 120 volts up to 1800 watts, maximum if you unlock Pro mode in the app, otherwise it's 1400 watts in turbo. That's just under 2 hours for a full charge from 0 to 100% at 1800 watts. From solar at a maximum of 1200 watts from the 12 to 60 volt MPPT controller, and that's done through an XT60 connector. At max solar, expect a full charge in about 3 hours under ideal conditions. You can also combine AC and solar charging for up to 2400 watts for topping up in under 90 minutes. You can also charge at 8 amps from a 12 volt source such as a vehicle and expect Rip Van Winkle to wake up long before this thing is fully charged. As for 12 volt outputs, this has two 13.8 regulated outputs that share a 30 amp circuit between the two. And that means you have the standard 10 amp carport socket, otherwise known as the cigarette lighter socket, and a dedicated 30 amp XT90 connector that can output up to 30 amps. Now, in order to use the latter, you need to either buy a special accessory cable from Bluetti's catalog, or you can build a makeshift one from DIY parts. I'm not really sure why they chose an XT90 connector over the far more common XT60 connector, since you don't need 90 amps. This thing only outputs 30 amps. As for USB, you get a pair of USB-C ports. One is 100 watt and one is 140 watt, so that's nice. Then you get a pair of standard USB-A ports, which are good for charging up those dinosaurs. And as for the warranty, you get the standard 5-year manufacturer's warranty from Bluetti. And of course, we took this product here into the secret laboratory where I performed all kinds of crazy experiments on it. Now, of course, I ran an AC battery capacity test, and the results were 2,810 watt hours out of 3014 for a nice, above average 93%. Now, this test is done at the standard 0.2C discharge rate of the battery, so the results are consistent across brands and capacities. I also did a phantom load or parasitic drain test on both AC and DC. The DC idle consumption, it used 3% of the capacity of the battery to sit idle for 24 hours, assuming this screen is calibrated properly. That's equal to about 90 watt hours wasted, or 3.75 watts at idle. Now that's a fantastic result, and that means that this battery would last for up to 30 days at idle when idling in DC mode. And that makes this perfect for running a DC 12 volt fridge for long periods of time. That means little waste. Now, as for AC idle consumption, I left the unit on with the inverter enabled with nothing plugged in for 12 hours, and it used 6% of the battery according to the screen. 6% of 3014 is about 180 watt hours wasted, or approximately 15 watts of idle consumption for the inverter. Now for a 2400 watt inverter, that's actually quite good and explains the higher battery capacity results too. They're simply using a better built inverter in this product. So when I recharged the battery using solar MPPT back to 100%, it took 221 watt hours at 10 amps to recharge the battery according to my battery meter with shunt. Since it used 221 instead of 180 to recharge, we divide those two to get an 81% efficiency of this XT60 MPPT controller. That means 19% of the power coming from your solar panels is getting wasted to heat. That's not a great result, but it certainly fares better than a lot of the competition. So the final result tells us that if you left this inverter on at 15 watts of idle consumption, it would totally kill this battery in about 8 days. Now this is excellent, and it means it also would make for a great unit to power a refrigerator during an outage, as the idle consumption is very low when the compressor is not running. And if you know your refrigerator, the compressor doesn't run very much, so maybe 20 minutes an hour in most cases. So it spends 40 minutes of the hour just sitting there doing nothing, and that's when you don't want the power just to get wasted to heat. Now I'm always asked how long stuff's going to run on these products, so compensating for usable capacity that we just figured out, you can pause this chart I'm going to put on screen to see approximately how long common appliances will run on this particular unit. Here are the results of all the tests. Pure sine wave check under load, it showed 120 volts at 60 hertz, that's a pass. Inverter capacity test at max load, I was able to pull up to 3,300 watts for 5 seconds, and I tested this several times. As for the cooling ability or heat soak test, we ran this at just under 2,400 watts for 5 minutes, and that was a pass. I do need to note and let you know, I was not able to run it at all over 2,400 watts. It would die after about 2 minutes at 2,450. So just be aware, can't run this over 2,400 watts or it will shut off. I measured the inverter fan noise when the inverter was running at maximum after that 5-minute test. It actually scored 53 decibels, and that's not that great. One of the downsides of making this unit smaller is the fact that now you have to use smaller fans that have to run faster, and that means more noise, and it is louder than the competition. Because you still got to cool a 2,400 watt inverter, and you're cramming that big battery in this tiny little box, something has to give. My least favorite 15 amp saw test, let's see how this works. No problem. Next we're going to try to run this 5,000 BTU mechanical air conditioner. Now it is like 30 degrees outside, so I don't know if it's going to kick on, but we can try it. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to kick on in this weather. Yeah, no AC test in a winter, but I can guarantee you that this will start it up no problem. It's a 2,400 watt inverter, and this barely pulls 500 watts at maximum. We can test the solar degenerator heat gun on maximum. Pulls about 1,500 watts, no problem. So inside the app, there's a mode called Pro Mode, which allows you to unlock the fastest AC charging. The password is all 8s. I think this is for all the Elite models. I think the password's the same. You can unlock 15 amp charging, and that's exactly what I did here. I don't know why it doesn't say I'm in Pro Mode, but I'm obviously am, because normally it's limited to 12 amps. The max charge rate from AC power. Now, if you unlock Pro Mode, you can get 1,765 watts charging on this. Turbo Mode, which is the standard fast mode, is 1,400 watts. Standard Mode, which it comes from the factory default, that's 1,200 watts. And Quiet Mode is 800 watts. So the claimed solar input range is from 12 to 60 volts at 22 amps if you unlock it. And that's 1,200 watts max solar. Now, as tested, at 12 volts, we were able to charge at 105 watts. At 18 volts, it was 380 watts. At 24 volts, 400 watts. 48 volts, 900 watts. And we were able to max it out around 62 volts, and I was able to pull 1,100 watts. Note that I was unable to reach 1,200 watts charge rate regardless of any settings that I changed in the app. So my maximum was 1,100 watts, and that was pumping everything I had into it. Now, as for the charging fan noise, when charging from AC power at the maximum rate, it was 49 decibels, which is respectable, and it's quieter than the inverter. It puts it in the average loudness category for charging fan noise. Of course, on the slower modes, it's going to be quieter. This does have simultaneous charging ability with solar priority, and that's 2400 watts max charge rate if you're taking 1100 watts from solar and 1300 watts from AC power at the same time. Now for the most controversial test on all of the interwebs, the UPS test. Now this claims to have a 10 millisecond switchover time, meaning if you cut the power from the wall, it switches over to battery within 10 milliseconds. We're going to find that out. I have the switch box connected to the grid. Let's see what happens when we shut the power off. I have a music video playing on a full desktop PC, and it is pulling about 90 watts right now, and the battery is charging simultaneously. 3, 2, 1. No problem, no hesitation whatsoever. We are no longer charging. I'll go ahead and turn the power back on from the grid. This is a flawless UPS mode, so no problem whatsoever. Just did it twice to be sure. It's working perfectly, so that's a pass. As for the DC output max rate, I was able to run a blistering 15 amps at 12.2 volts from the carport cigarette lighter, but I was unable to test the 30 amp since a cable was not supplied, and I looked everywhere. I thought I had something, but I didn't, so I was unable to test the XT90 port. And all the 12 volt on this is regulated at a higher than usual for Bluetti, 13.8 volts, which is actually a good thing. I did test both USB-C ports just to make sure everything was working as it should. I ran the 100 watt and 140 watt simultaneously and was able to pull both at the same time, and that's a pass. Amp interference test is where we determine is the inverter in the Elite clean or dirty. We'll find that out by turning on the inverter, and then we'll see what the sound sounds like coming out, if it's clean or staticky or we get clicks and pops or whatever. Okay, place your bets. 3, 2, 1. Sounds perfectly clean to me. That is a pass. Now before we do this next test, we need to go into Bluetti's hidden secret sauce settings, which allows you to get into some settings that you can't get into with the app. All you gotta do to get into is hold the AC and DC at the same time, and then it takes you into this special little menu. Inside the special little menu, you can change the frequency of the inverter from 60 to 50 hertz, depending on which country you live in. And then there's different things like this controls the sleep mode and turbo mode and powerlifting, eco mode. And here's what we want to shut off. We want to shut off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth so that they do not interfere with our next test. And you hold both buttons back down and it saves the settings. Now Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are disabled. So right now the wireless transmitters are completely disabled, and it will stay that way until you turn them back on. Very cool feature. I wish everyone else would do this, because there's some environments where you don't want to have wireless interference, or you can't have wireless interference. Now this next test is going to be EMF, and that's exactly why I shut the transmitters off. So we're going to get an actual signal from this thing without any Wi-Fi interfering, which is unusual because most of the time the Wi-Fi will interfere with this test. Okay, base reading, it's always somewhere between 2 and 5 in this room. Now as it powers up, you'll get a slight boost into the teens that typically goes away after the fans stop running. Let's try DC, see what kind of interference we get. All right, goes up to about 20, back down to 15. Not too bad at all. Let's add AC inverter. This is going to be the noisy one. It's really not that bad for a 2400 watt inverter. It's reading 70, just under 70, around 65 to 70. A lot of other products will read 80 or 90, so this is actually a little bit cleaner than I expected. So thumbs up. Again, that means they're using good electronics in the inverter, and it's probably well shielded. So all results fell within expectations with no actual failures. The only note of interest is the 10 amp 12 volt carport. It'll likely self-destruct if ran for long periods over 12 amps. So users should be really careful running things like compressors or appliances that heat for extended periods of time, because the fact that I could pull 15 amps without it shutting down makes me believe we're probably going to see a firmware update to correct that before too long, because it could be a safety issue. So what do I think about the Elite 300? Well, Bluetti keeps knocking these things out of the park as they push them out and they get better and better. And I think we may have found the perfect camping power station. And I say that because it's not only extremely efficient on AC power, but insanely efficient on DC power. The fact I can pull up to 15 amps from the car socket and then be able to pull 30 amps safely from the XT90 means it will handle large DC loads or several smaller ones simultaneously, such as a fuse box in a van build or an RV fuse box. With such high efficiency, you get great bang for the buck when charging with limited solar, meaning a lot of that solar that you put in will go to waste when it's idling around. It's also extremely subcompact for 3 kilowatt hours. I mean, amazingly so. Now, the only downside of the compact is the rear-facing exhaust, meaning if you're using this inside of a storage bay or on your countertop, you have to be extra careful not to accidentally block this rear vent because it is flush to the rest of the power station. There is no bump sticking out to prevent you from completely blocking the vent, and that would quickly overheat this little power station. Another great reason it's a camping generator is the coveted 30 amp RV hookup, which you don't get in such a small product as this. Yes, it can only really pull 20 amps, but no single appliance in your RV or van is going to pull more than 20 amps anyway. Just run one thing at a time and you'll be fine. Worst case, you trip to safety on the Bluetti and have to go push a button to reset it. Now, downsides, does mean it's a bit on the loud side at max loads.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud. Next, please.
And not really silent either when charging from AC, but it's virtually silent when solar charging, so that is a bonus. It also feels a lot heavier than 60 pounds, and I did double check the weight with my own scale to be sure. Just the thing feels like a concrete block when you pick it up. It's just so dense. Now, the basic 5-volt USB ports and the 60 amp limit on the solar input is kind of weak sauce, but they're saving money by stepping down on these features they don't think most customers need. It's just insanely difficult to get exactly 60 volts of solar panels to extract 1200 watts of solar. Most users are going to be limited to 8 to 1,000 watts of panels due to that lower voltage limit. Now, the upside is that inside the app, you can unlock a higher 22 amp mode, and that does give you some more options running panels in parallel or series parallel. Okay, product price. Right now, through the end of the month of March, is Bluetti's big spring sale, where they have discounts on much of their product line. You can nab the Elite 300 during this event for only $10.99. Of course, viewers of the channel also get an exclusive 8% off discount code on top of that, bringing that final price down to about $10.11. That's only 33 cents per watt hour and an amazing bargain, especially if you do a lot of camping or RVing. It also works fine as a basic backup unit too. Being small and portable with such a large battery means it would work well to keep most kitchen appliances going in a blackout, and it's perfect for running a refrigerator during a blackout because of that low idle consumption. So if you're interested, the link and discount code is in the description below. I'm also going to put a link here at the bottom of the screen you can type in, along with a QR code that you can scan if you're watching me on TV. It'll take you on over to the Bluetti store page where you can check out the Elite 300. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.